Yeah, we hold Billy too there. Okay, Bill, come
Ladies
on
and gentlemen,
around.
please hold it quiet.
Okay, that's the shot.
What up, world? Thank you for ripping a ticket to another installment of Hellhound Film Club. I'm your host, Cody Pope, and this is my co-host,
Danny Dimes.
And as I truly am every time we do this, I'm thrilled to introduce tonight's panel and special feature. First to the panel, from the very first episodes of Hellhound Film Club as an audio podcast back in 2021, my longtime friend, cinephile inspiration, and independent filmmaker with his brand new short film, August After Hours, a city film, available to watch now on YouTube. Please welcome to the panel, Robert from Lunda Street Films. Insert applause here.
Woo! And as always, joining us, a longtime friend of the show. You've seen him countless episodes in our revival of the Hellhound Film Club, as well as multiple appearances on CODY Central. He is a film industry grip, an independent filmmaker, and with his new short film, Joey's Big Reveal, arriving later this year, please welcome our good friend, Tyler LaPlant.
What up?
What up, what up? Thank you guys so much for joining the panel tonight. It is truly a privilege to have both of you with us for this. But before we get too deep, first things first, as always, tonight we are live from the spot in downtown Nashua, New Hampshire. One of Nashua's first dry bars and Gate City's most interesting entertainment lounge, featuring a delicious selection of premium ingredient mocktails, coffee, kava, and more, in addition to the brand new late night menu available now courtesy of the legendary Joanne's Kitchen. Check us out here for Hellhound Film Club live, free movie nights and podcast recording on Wednesday nights at 217 Main Street, Nashua, New Hampshire, when the doors open at 7 p.m.
Now, for our conversation tonight, we have a little bit of a different format than we usually have on the program. Rather than solely covering one film, we're covering the life and works of one of film's most important figures. A few days following this episode's release will be the 116th birthday of one of cinema's most influential and revered filmmakers of all time, someone whose influence on the film industry is second to none. A man noted and recognized as an inspiration by the likes of George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and countless others. Tonight we honor the late great master of film, Akira Kurosawa. Insert applause one more time. Kurosawa, born in 1910, became one of the most iconic and influential filmmakers of all time during his 50-year career between 1943 and 1993 for his directing, writing, cinematography, sound design, and overall craftsmanship. Most notable for films such as Rashomon, Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, and many more, his work has gone on to inspire some of our generation's most notable works of all time, such as Star Wars: A New Hope, which heavily borrows from Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress. Famous spaghetti westerns from Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood include The Magnificent Seven, which is a western reimagining of Seven Samurai, and the Dollars trilogy titular Fistful of Dollars is heavily inspired by the previously mentioned Yojimbo. Even the plot to the Pixar movie A Bug's Life closely follows the plot of Seven Samurai. They have the ants hire warrior bugs to fight the grasshoppers. This is just a small fractional glimpse of the impact that Kurosawa has had on the way that we see movies in our lifetime.
For this week's free movie night features, we chose to watch the acclaimed crime thriller High and Low from the 1963, starring from his most notable collaborator, actor. Here we go. I'm gonna get crushed for this. You ready? Toshiro Mifune.
You are close. You were close. Toshiro Mifune.
Mifune. I told you.
That was good, though.
See, as long as I hear it a couple times, I'm good. While this isn't the most notable or talked about in his catalog, even this film has gone on to impress and impact on most crime and drama thrillers.
Quick little fun fact about Toshiro Mifune and Akira Kurosawa. They did, I believe it was 16 movies together. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I had to kind of mention that in the notes there.
Oh, absolutely.
But Danny was absolutely right in the fact that like this movie has gone on to influence so many crime, thriller, procedurals. I have a couple of examples. So one example that I have here is from Bong Joon-ho, who's most notable for the incredible film Parasite, who actually, he went on to record to say, quote, "The Japanese title for the film is Heaven and Hell. On the top of the hill is a rich guy, and in the bottom, there's the criminal kind of structure. It's basically the same in Parasite, but with more layers." And so the reason that I picked that reference for reference, if you've never seen Parasite, have we all seen it in our panel? Okay.
Yes.
So, audience, if you've never seen Parasite, in my personal opinion, it is one of the best films of the last 25 years. But more notable than my opinion is the fact that it won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival in 2019, and it went on to win Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Foreign Language Film at the 77th Oscars, which was the first for a South Korean film. Even the style of plot mechanisms that he used in this film, one thing in particular, obviously spoilers ahead, but the end of the movie, we're going to talk about that a couple times, but the very last scene, that the idea of like the anticlimactic ending, there's bigger references that we'll mention, but it went on to going back to Bong Joon-ho. He used that same storytelling device in Memories of Murder, and David Fincher used that same device in the Zodiac movie that he did as well.
He actually mentioned also the Panic Room was very much shot the same way, that the camera wasn't a personality. It was just there to record what it was supposed to do. There was no like trickery or any like special like camera tricks that were used. It was just the instrument there. So like that even shows like that his like style was even more impacted like in other areas also. So it's just a lot of movies, like if you've seen like this style, you start seeing it more in like newer movies that you don't recognize it.
Right.
So I think the impact that he had on cinematography was just
unparalleled.
Amazing. I can go on about this movie.
Why don't you?
Well, I have a script to follow.
That's what I'm saying.
So even the cinematography in this would be used in neo-noirs in like decades to come. The look, the style of the iconic, final scene has gone to inspire other iconic shots in our recent features, which was the Batman from 2022. When, spoiler alert, they reveal the Joker at the end, and they use like that kind of can see, but you really can't see that same.
It's like the partial blur behind the window thing.
Right. Like that blur, like in High and Low, like when you see one character, but you can't really see the other character, but you can through the reflection of the glass.
Yeah.
So it's like you've seen that now, like iconically in many, many movies later on.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that that's like a almost 70-year-old plus idea now.
Right.
So needless to say, if you couldn't tell, it would be far too difficult for us to just solely cover one movie. There's no way that we wouldn't veer off into multiple directions. I felt in order to best celebrate the life and work of a true pioneer in the cinematic arts, we had to make the conversation kind of like an open discussion about all things Kurosawa. Needless to say, happy birthday to one of the greatest of all time. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It's really cool to have you guys here. We're going to pass the mics off to you guys in a second, but as we mentioned, both of our panelists and our friends are independent filmmakers. Robert has been a filmmaker and a physical media film collector for, safe to say, going on like over 25 years now. And so Robert has an extensive knowledge of cinema across the board. And Tyler, also an independent filmmaker that you guys know from every episode that we do. Tonight was Tyler's first time seeing a Kurosawa film. So I'm really cool to have the. I'm really cool. I'm really excited, and I think it's really,
bro.
Thank you guys so
We know
much.
this.
It's really cool to have such an expansive range of experience in this. And so, as we mentioned at the top of the episode, for free movie night tonight, we watched High and Low, which is later in the catalog of his works, but is, in my opinion, I feel like not. I mean, I guess right now in pop culture, it's obviously getting recognition because of the Spike Lee highest to lowest thing.
Yeah.
But I think in general, it's not as like, it's not as praised or spoken about the way that like Rashomon or Seven Samurai or something else is. You know, it's not. It's just starting to kind of get more due praise from your standard film fan. You know what I mean? Like, I think obviously people that are like into cinema like that understand its impact and shit, but I think like the average person is probably, a lot of people are just kind of starting to like catch the wave now, so to speak.
I feel like a lot of average people are like, you're watching that?
Yeah, exactly.
And then when they finally do, I don't want to say forced to sit down and watch it, but like when they do sit down and watch it, then they're kind of like, oh wow, that was actually a really great movie. Like,
yeah,
I think because of, I'll say per se, how old it is, people just don't recognize it. And then, but if they sit down and actually watch it, they can almost, like you said, like find the old, like the newer movies that they're like, oh my, that's just like this, or this just like that, and kind of put like the one and one together, like, oh wow, this was first, and like maybe this director used this from Heat, from, you know, from High and Low, for example. Like, I mean, I believe it was you earlier that said it, Robert, that like blocking is dying, and the blocking in this movie was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point, I counted, there was 8 people on scene, and the way they were blocked out, the foreground people actually created the tunnel for the people that were talking in the background, that created the focal point of where you're looking, even though there was people in the foreground that could have actually like per se blocked your vision.
Yeah.
And just the way it was blocked out and using the foreground and background was just absolutely wild.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's jump to the panel here. Robert, I want to ask you first. How do you, I mean, obviously you'd seen this multiple times and you own it on your own, so you have an experience with it, but rewatching this tonight and maybe rewatching it in this setting and context, how are your feelings about the film after like sort of an immediate rewatch?
Every time I'm always marveled by his use of widescreen, and as Danny was saying, his mise en scène, just the way he blocked his actors to the camera, and vice versa. It was his fifth time using widescreen, and you could tell he's just gotten better, starting with The Bad Sleep Well, and then Tin Fortress, Yojimbo Sanjuro, and then this one. And I, especially on this viewing, I noticed what an inspiration he must have been on Spielberg with his oneers, and especially Spielberg's early use of widescreen, particularly Sugarland Express, Jaws, Close Encounters in 1941. Just using the complete whole frame. And using foreground and background, and these were all done with long lenses. And in the first part of the film, inside the apartment, there were two sets built, and one was for the outside shot, showing the outside, and then one for the inside. I think that's what I.
Well, I did not. I mean, I feel you. It's definitely a remarkable idea of like doing a lot with a little, in the sense of like you spend almost the first hour in the same two sets back and forth, and it truly is remarkable. So Tyler, as we mentioned a little bit ago, this was your first time seeing any Kurosawa film.
Yes.
But also, as you sit here in your IATSE hat,
Yes.
You come from a world of experience and a world of intrigue. And so I'm very curious to hear how this hit and how this resonated with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into like story spoilers yet, so I'm just going to talk more about like technical stuff that really stuck out for me. A lot of movies weren't really shooting on location. That was sort of like a thing that really got popular, and I feel like in the 70s, especially in like Western cinema. So like seeing a movie, from the 60s, black and white, but shooting in like dozens of different locations, like, which it was really, really great to see that. The other thing too is, it gives you this impression that it's going to be one of those kind of like 60s style, like dialogue driven, guys in a room, tense situation type movies. And you spend an hour with these guys in this house, the cops negotiating, and the two fathers, and the tension with the company, and there's so much brewing there that as a first time watcher, like I'm already into this. I'm already invested into this. And yeah, I mean, to kind of touch and reference our David Cronenberg episode we recorded last night. I finished Videodrome after the show.
Oh, I love that.
And just, a comparison, and something that I was really very aware of in watching this is, Videodrome, there's so many shots that, today, like I work on these projects, and, we'll do like all these different setups for the scene so that we can cut and have all these different options to cut. But I was watching Videodrome, and the camera it'll be in one shot for a while, and then James Wood would like, flip on the television or something, and then it would be a motivated movement by the camera into a completely new shot. And this is like a whole like minute and a half thing throughout, and it carries most of the scene, and then and it makes the cuts feel deliberate. And I was watching the same thing, is like the camera movement is very subtle, but like it changes the frame, and it really it takes the place of coverage in a really beautiful way, where you get to stay in the heaviness of the scene but at the same time, you get to have things be reframed, and you get, and mentally you're like, okay, well, the perspective has switched, so now I'm going to be focusing more on what this character is doing. And I mean, also just lit beautifully, just incredible writing, incredible acting, incredible directing. Like, I just, music, like, oh, just, there's so much. I think this might be, yeah, this is really, wow. Like, this now makes me very excited to jump in and watch my next Kurosawa. So
Oh, I love
thank you
that.
for sharing this with us.
Dude, thank you for being here with us. That makes me so happy. That's what this thing is really all about,
I'm pretty sure this is why we do this.
Absolutely.
This is the exact reason why we do this.
And honestly, we didn't really even talk about this much. Was this your first time seeing this?
No, this is my second time seeing this, but my first time was 25 years ago when I worked at Blockbuster.
Okay.
When I worked at Blockbuster, it was on so when I worked there, there was like we would get small list of like recommended,
Yeah.
because like if a movie came out and it got completely rented out, we had to have in the bank other movies to recommend.
Yeah.
So working at Blockbuster for almost 2.5 years with 5 free rentals every single week,
Oh, take me back.
eventually you just start running out of things to watch. Like, you can't always watch all the brand new stuff, so you just start grabbing catalog.
Yeah.
And there was can't remember his name, but we used to get a magazine every single month, and there were critics in it that worked for Blockbuster, and you would read their reviews of certain movies, and a couple of them I resonated with me, and then they would recommend movies. So High and Low was one of the recommended, and I was like, well, I really like this guy's reviews. I agree with them. So scooped it up, watched it, enjoyed it. Only difference is forgot about it.
So, is it safe to say that this might have been your first Kurosawa film that you saw?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, interesting. Robert, I want to pose the same question to you. Do you remember what the first Kurosawa film you saw was?
Seven Samurai. I think that was one of the first Criterions I bought. The '98 release.
Same here. I have a newer version than that, but I think Seven Samurai was, I think, my second or third Criterion that I ever. It was the first one that I bought knowing what Criterion was. The first one I bought was Repo Man, but I didn't know what Criterion was. I just wanted Repo, and that's when I've told this story a million times on the show already, but I feel like Seven Samurai makes sense. I feel like that is like how a lot of people get introduced, which kind of makes sense. So you've obviously seen a bunch. Is it safe to say you've probably seen all?
No.
Okay.
Maybe 10 or 12.
Okay, so pretty close though. A good chunk. And what about you? What do you feel like your batting average is for Kurosawa films you've seen?
High and Low, Seven Samurai, and Redbeard.
Okay.
I can tell you off the gate because I know for a fact those are the 3 that I know for a fact I have seen.
So since you have the mic, I'll pose this to you. In the film we watched tonight, or any Kurosawa film that you've seen prior, what was the thing that stuck out the most to you?
So I'm gonna have to say this again. To me, is his blocking throughout his movies. Like, he draws attention to where he wants you to look, and in a wide angle, like a wide screen, he's putting so much out there for you to see. Like, he does an absolute and amazing job to draw your focal point to exactly where he wants you to look and pay attention to. And he also does a really great job where there will be a scene where like somebody's actually talking, and he'll actually cut the scene to somebody actually just paying attention to them talking. And I don't know what it is about it, but to me, it really resonates. Like, because I always feel like that, like when somebody's talking, they're on the screen. You will always see them.
Yeah.
And like the way that he cuts them out of the scene and like has other people kind of be like the focal point where he was like forcing you to listen to the audio more than paying attention to like the actual scene.
Let me interject here.
Okay.
So you mentioned blocking a couple times, and a lot of people that tune in on YouTube and stuff like that aren't as like tapped in to like behind the scenes, inside baseball, if you will. When you say that Kurosawa is recognizable for some of the best and most influential blocking, what does that mean to the layman's person? What is blocking to somebody that just like watches movies and doesn't watch the special features? I don't know why you would do that, but
it's in reference to the location on where on the stage that they are supposed to be like the spot that's marked for them to be at. There's a particular scene where there's 8 people on the scene, and because of their location, they're actually like diagonal stacked. And then on one side, they're diagonal stacked. And then on the other side, there was 2 diagonal stacked. But then the wife was in the middle of the scene. So your eyes naturally like went through the tunnel to focus on her in the background.
Yeah.
So it's the location of where they're at on the stage.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
And I'm sure Tyler will be able to give me a way more in-depth.
No, and that's cool. I just want you guys to be cognizant of that. Like, it's very easy to start throwing around terminology because we all kind of nerd out about movie shit. But I just don't want anybody that's like watching from home to be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
And I'm sure my answer is like the
like
super layman's.
But that's perfect. That's what it is like you just want to explain it as simple as possible. Blocking is the act of choreographing what you are about to film, essentially. You know, just so that people can digest that. Thank you. I didn't mean to like put you.
No,
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but you literally said blocking.
I know you're trying to test me. I get it. I see how it is.
You can't just.
You're waiting for me to say the wrong answer, so I get roasted.
You can't throw buzzwords out 3 times and not back it up.
You're ready to get me roasted. I get it. It's okay.
Yeah, well, you were ready to get yourself roasted, but you walked through the fire and came out clean. So, but just know that that's how we're rolling. We got to explain. I'm glad that you said it, right? Like, I want to educate people on these terms because some of the people that watch us are going to get more and more in depth into this, and they're going to dive into those special features after they start buying more videos to keep at home. And so I think it's cool because if you take an interest in that kind of stuff, it allows you to see the movie from a different perspective and allows you to understand some of the creative choices differently. I guess because I'm a rapper and I'm not a filmmaker, I like have a big fear of like coming off like a pretentious film snob sometimes. So that's why I got to just like throw it in neutral and be like, can we coast right now? Are we good? Robert, I want to pose the same question to you though. In this film or any Kurosawa film, what do you feel like is the thing that has stuck out the most to you that you can think about? I know it's like a loaded question.
I shut the subtitles off, I shut the sound off, and I just watch the image because it's a ballet. And Tyler, you and I were talking about the blocking, and I wanted to hear more about what we were talking about before, about how he goes about.
So so my read on because I feel like the way to talk about this movie is splitting it up into 2 parts. The very theatrical, because it feels like a stage play, the first hour of the movie or so. And I think there's kind of like a beauty of I think this movie is very much like a reflection of old Hollywood and what Hollywood is kind of emerging to be in the mid 60s, because you have a very very carefully curated heavily rehearsed, heavily blocked out situation where, you know, like some of the scenes, the way they talk to each other probably don't make sense and don't feel natural, like if you really think about like the placement of everybody. But like if you really think, it's like every frame is like a photograph and it's so beautiful.
Every frame's a painting.
That's right, baby. And I, you know, to break into a little bit of Spoilerville, they go into a train section, and then, you know, now they're cutting to coverage. They're moving fast, like they're using music, like there's tension, there's action happening.
They go handheld for the first time.
Yeah, they go handheld. Like I was like, whoa! Like it was so cool just seeing the switch to that. And oh man, like sorry, I can go on, but yeah, I mean the level of care and thought, you know, put into just the visual look and feel of this movie is just like mind blowing. It really is. Like it's really a treat.
And the Japanese title is actually Heaven and Hell.
It is.
So for the first 55 minutes, we spend the time in heaven, air conditioning, which was very rare in Japan at the time.
I know.
And on the stage.
Comment of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, expanding on what you said about the location shooting, and throughout that last hour and a half, Kurosawa really makes you feel the heat of everything.
The ball guy always wiping the back of his head with his handkerchief. Also, really incredible ensemble cast too. Like, oh my god, like I really love the shorter bald guy. Like I think he might have been my favorite of the characters in the movie. But yeah, really fantastic.
No, don't be sorry. That's why
It's funny because I felt like the shorter bald guy was like the comic relief of the movie, without a doubt.
Right.
That's why he like resonates so well, because he's like,
I think he's like the audience stand-in character, I'd say.
I want to drift back to when I was asking you guys about your first Kurosawa film that you had seen. What age were you when you came across that film?
2021. 2021 for me, because that's when I was working at Blockbuster. So that's pretty definitive for me to be able to knock that right out with
that
no
makes
problem.
sense. I was definitely in my like early 20s when I like started going down. Like I've always been into movies, but it wasn't until a certain point in my life where I was like probably 18 or 19 that I started taking the idea of being a movie fan more serious and being like, what is my collection? I'm going to bring this from apartment to apartment. I got to have a DVD player. Like I'd be going to Walmart and buying the midnight releases at 11:58, waiting for them to put them out on the shelves like a scumbag. Like, I
didn't have cable. That's why I did it.
Yeah. Same. I didn't have cable for a long time. There's no 24-hour Walmarts anymore.
Yeah. You now have to wait till Tuesday morning now for real.
It's not the same America I grew up in. I can tell you that much. We used to be a better country. We used to have 24-hour diners. We used to have 24-hour Walmarts. Dunkin' Donuts were 24 hours, and Dunkin' Donuts had a salsa bagel. We were a country. We were a country you could be proud of. God damn it.
Well, we got the McSnack wraps back, so
yeah, I will. I fucked up a snack wrap the other day, honestly. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I gotta take a spicy snack wrap anytime. All right. Will you answer my question real? I'm gonna pass you the mic so you can go next. But how old were you when you saw Seven Samurai for the first time?
Like 14 or 15. That's it.
Sorry. Follow up to that. A lot of 14-year-olds, especially in the 90s and 2000s, didn't have access. Like movies like that weren't as easily accessible. And so I have to follow up with like, what was the situation that you were in that allowed you to discover that movie at such a young age?
not to give away my age too much, but
You're giving it away already.
yeah,
You're part of the gray hair club with us, so
well, Criterion was nice enough to start releasing DVDs after their Laserdisc years, and Seven Samurai just happens to be the first Criterion DVD to be released. It has its number 2 spine. The first one being Renoir's Grand Illusion.
yep.
But it was the first, and I'm gonna have to age myself. What store? What's the one in
Suncoast.
No. It was Vesline Mall downstairs.
No, Suncoast Video.
No. Was it? Is that what it's called?
It was it had a red sign. It was like black on the inside.
Yeah.
They had a humongous anime wall that all the spines made a big Dragon Ball Z or a big Trigun or whatever.
Right.
Dude, Suncoast Video was like the beacon of my childhood. That I would absolutely believe that that's where it was if it was at the mall. It was downstairs. We're talking about the Pheasant Lane Mall in Nashua, New Hampshire, for reference. If you go there now, exactly where Borders was is like a nail spa now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I bought it for $30.
Which back at yes, dude, straight up.
Let me see. Oh, that brings back.
Dude, but you know what's crazy is buying a $30 DVD at Suncoast back in that day. That was like buying a $600 DVD. like $30 was not cheap back then.
Well, I bought Ordinary People, Redford's film, when it came out on DVD. Bought it at Suncoast for $30 list price, and if I were to sell it today, I might get maybe 10, 20 cents for it.
That's so crazy. Oh my god, dude.
And you were gonna ask Tyler something.
Yeah, you had a point you wanted to bring up.
Well, yeah. So you brought up Parasite, and it got my mind thinking about there are a lot of similarities between this and Parasite, and something that I find interesting is, within the movie, the whole point is that this like very wealthy businessman who's on the verge of losing everything on this big business deal, this like kind of hostile takeover sort of thing. Somebody targets him and kidnaps what they think to be his son. It's actually his chauffeur's son. And I think the idea is like there is a fair point of like, okay, I don't want to give up. I don't want to pay this ransom. But like he harps on that. It takes him a long time to eventually realize the right thing is like, you know what, we're going to have to put this business thing on hold so that I can save this kid. And it takes him a long time. And even when the kid gets rescued, like his father, like puts him at considerable danger, bringing him, like trying to force him to figure out exactly where his captors were to bring him back. And, he's not a police officer. Like he doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have any sort of jurisdiction or whatever. So, like now he's putting his kid at risk. And it's like, I think, if we're thinking in like a broader term, and especially with Parasite, about how that movie is, it's kind of about like, the relationship that, the social classes have within capitalism. And I think this kind of plays the same idea of like, hey, like we're willing to like endanger kids for money or for the pursuit of money or, whatever it is. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe don't get me wrong, like the story and the plot, like, I'm with it. Like, I understand like that, Mr. Gondo is like, it is a complicated thing. I don't think he's a morally bad guy. I think he makes the right choice. But, just in the back of my mind, like I'm always kind of looking at it and like, yeah, I don't know. I'm here for the chauffeur. I don't know, working class man. His son got fucking kidnapped. That sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Parasite. It works. It balances out. Right? I'm onto something, right?
Yes,
Maybe?
and I just like you brought it up. Unfortunately, at the moment, highest to lowest, Spike Lee's remake.
That's a remake of this?
Yeah.
Oh, I've yet to see Highest to Lowest. I missed out on that, unfortunately.
Well, it's locked up on Apple at the moment.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it.
But as an American remake, it and this is having not seen it yet, and knowing Spike Lee, it'll be very interesting to see how he adapts a story that focuses on someone in the 1% as the protagonist, and then the police investigating it, which would be different in America, I guess you could say.
I am like very interested to see it. I don't have the highest of expectations, and it's tough to say that because I love Spike Lee, but Spike Lee really let me down with the Old Boy remake that he did. And I love Spike Lee. I think Josh Brolin is great, but there was just nothing about that needed to happen. And so it was like such a blemish that when I like heard that this was happening, it just like made me have that same feeling again of like, no, we're not doing this again. Come on. But
That felt like a paycheck. Old Boy.
that's definitely fair. But why? That seems like a difficult paycheck at the same
Yeah.
time. You know what? Like if you were gonna remake any movie, especially like a popular Korean film or something, there were way easier choices to get made than Old Boy. You know what I mean? And like they ended up having to sanitize Old Boy still just to get it done. So I don't know. I don't want to sound negative because I'm going to watch it as soon as somebody can unlock Apple TV for us somehow. But it's just scary. It's scary, I guess is what I should say. I shouldn't say I'm not excited about it, but I'm scared that it's going to let me down. And so maybe that going in with lower expectations, maybe I'll come out pleasantly surprised. Oh, come on.
But he has Denzel Washington this time.
Sorry, guys. We having PTSD. We had 3 cop cars show up while we were watching the movie, and they decided to park and leave their flashing lights on right behind the window with the projector until luckily Mike, the venue owner here at the spot, actually went out and was like, do you mind not doing that while we're trying to watch a fucking movie? You stupid piece of shit.
I'm going to touch back real quick because Tyler brought it up about basically the roller coaster, because I thought it was the movie being high and low. Robert touched on the fact that at the beginning, the first about hours of the movie is filmed at the highest point, being at the top of the hill, air conditioning, and then the last half of it being in the police station in the slums, being in the lower part.
Yeah.
But I also felt that there was like this undertone because he starts out so high, loaded money, and then goes down to the lowest point of losing everything, getting kicked out. They even show them walking around like seizing his property in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, we haven't auctioned it off yet. You can sit on it now."
There was a line that really stuck with me, where it's towards the end where he decides, or the end of like the first half of the movie where he decides like, hey, I'm going to give the money to get this kid freed. So he's helping the police put like a dye pill that if it gets burned, it'll burn pink. And he's helping putting it in the case, and he rips out his old tools and he starts cutting it open, and he's like, us shoemakers, like we also worked on bags, like, and then he says something along the lines of like, I can feel myself getting ready to restart again, or something like that.
I feel like I'm starting over.
Yeah, I feel like I'm already starting over. And there was something about that I was like, oh man, like there are these character moments that are just really beautiful and wholesome in this movie. And that was one of them for me that really stuck out.
That's the last line of that section. And then there's the bass.
Yeah.
For me, what in particular stuck out in that scene wasn't that he knew that he had his bag of old tools. So it was something that he never grew out of. Like, he didn't become so rich and so like detached from it. Like, he kept the tools.
Yeah.
And then the part that really got to me is when the wife brought it out, he just took the bag and dropped it on the ground, went over, grabbed the bags, and sat on. He could have done that anywhere he wanted. He could have sat at a table. He could have sat on the couch, but like he literally sat on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's probably how he got started from the beginning, was doing it on the floor of his dirt house, or you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no,
like,
I know what you mean.
Like literally went back to the roots, like even with like the where they had him do it. Like they could have had him sit anywhere else.
This movie also reminded me of this other like really amazing South Korean film that just came out, No Other Choice. Have you seen that, or have anybody?
I love the
director though.
Oh my god, it is so great. It kind of takes the idea of very badly needing money, and it's an absurdist, like dark comedy, black comedy sort of
Is that
take.
Park Chan-wook?
Yeah, that is, yes, yeah. And I don't know, there was something like this would be a great double feature of watching this and then watching No Other Choice, because like thematically there's a lot of stuff that is very similar, but you guys should watch that. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like a Patreon episode.
It's in theaters right now, right?
It was. I don't think it is anymore.
Damn, I would have loved to.
The movie is doing the releasing.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sorry. I think Mubi is taking care of the releasing in certain countries.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they have it now. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's exciting.
Jamie, can you look that up for me?
Mubi channel?
Jamie, pull that up for us.
Pull that up, Jamie. Clip that.
Every now and then I get a 7-day free trial of Mubi, and then cancel. It sucks. I just get the movies and then
Yeah, it's on there.
It's on there right now. I have to start another 7-day thing.
Yo, he tried to save that money.
All right, I got a few more questions for you guys. It's crazy how fast this episode has already flown by, dude. Holy crap. Let me start with you, Robert, since I feel like you have the most experience with the Kurosawa collection.
Yeah.
What would be your recommendation for someone's first movie to see?
This one.
This would be your
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
Because the 3.5-hour Seven Samurai can seem daunting.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I would say Yojimbo, because it's Western, not in the sense of Western as we know it, but it's a very Western film.
Yeah.
And Kurosawa's been, called a very Western director, as opposed to Ozu, who I'm forgetting all the other ones, but Ozu definitely being the most that we haven't heard of as many at this side of the world.
Yeah.
And because of its connection to Sergio Leone's films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So High and Low, because it's a nice police procedural. And Yojimbo, Sanjuro, and then move on to the Shakespeare adaptations and Dostoevsky and all of those. You have plenty of films to watch if you're gonna dig into Akira Kurosawa's filmography.
Yeah, true that. What about you, Danny? What would be your recommendation for someone's first Kurosawa film to see?
I would have to agree with the High and Low. It's a good introduction to like his style, but it also the movie flows nice and like really nice that like you can get behind the storyline and like really enjoy it, but not get I don't want to say bored, because that's the wrong word. That's not the word I'm looking for. But like Seven Samurais, I think with like the action in it and things like that, that will keep somebody engaged. But because of how long the movie is, I think that would deter people from sitting down to watch it.
Yeah.
I'd like to change my answer to The Hidden Fortress.
Hey, that's a great call.
Oh, wow.
As we mentioned, that's pretty much The Hidden Fortress is pretty much Star Wars A New Hope. So if you are into Star Wars, chances are you'll really enjoy the story arc of the Hidden Fortress. Even though you guys are all looking at me and nobody asked me, I'll tell you anyways.
I thought you were gonna ask Tyler
the movie
first. I thought you were gonna ask Tyler first.
I
then
can't, I
was gonna
can't
ask-
ask Tyler. He has one movie he's
This
seen.
one.
I know. That's why it would have been funny because I was waiting for him to be like, "I've only seen one."
Oh, yeah,
Surprise.
Dreams.
Yo, don't scoff at Dreams.
I'm not scoffing.
Dreams is a beautiful
That's just
film.
the only other one that I know.
That's
that
the
you
only.
guys
You know
haven't
what? That
mentioned
sucks.
yet.
That's the only one I didn't bring to put on display. I'm pretty
Big
sure.
fan, dude.
I know. I'm a poser, even though I brought all these fucking movies out.
Still makes you a poser. You didn't bring Dreams.
I know. True.
I'm looking at all of these, and those are the great ones to start. You got Rashomon, Akira.
Open up high well. What's in it?
Low.
And this is what I was gonna say because you guys still care about my opinion.
I do.
Of course.
I'm surprised that neither of you guys thought of Rashomon because I feel like the
Haven't
story.
seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So that's your excuse. In my opinion, Rashomon uses a plot device that has been utilized throughout history, time and time again. It's incredibly fast paced, and it's an 88-minute runtime.
Yeah.
So if you were looking for a first movie to get into, this is one that you're going to start paralleling to movies you've seen in your life, and by the time it's done, it hasn't even been an hour and a half.
So I watched all the long ones, and the shortest one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I guess that's what it sounds like.
Maybe this will be better for after the show, but could I borrow that one, or could I borrow one of these at the end of the night? I come every week. I'll have it back. I can give you my copy of House or Houseu if you really want to be authentic about it. Collateral.
Plays Van Gogh in that one.
Wait, does he actually?
He does.
No,
No.
Dreams.
Are we talking about Dreams?
No, I was talking about Houseu.
Oh.
I have a copy of it on Criterion. I was gonna offer us collateral, but now I'm doing my thing where I derailed the podcast, so I'm gonna give the mic back. But yeah, I'd like to borrow one if you're down for that.
Yeah, I am down. Sorry, I was trying to get. We got to hold the mics to you guys when you're talking because if there's no mic near you, we're the only people that can hear what you're saying.
Send you the audio later.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna change my
Or-
answer again and say Rashomon. Cody,
Oh,
you
okay,
have
poser.
it. You have it.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
You have it. Okay, Rashomon. Perfect.
think they're big movies. They're like 5 hours.
I keep forgetting his films
I
because they're
know.
all so great that
Yeah.
they just. I mean,
Well, that's why I was like,
That's
I
why
like
I've got
going
them all
through
right there.
through these and watch it. I watched Rashomon today because I always say not to watch the movie that we're gonna watch here, and I try not to do too much preliminary research. And so I was just going through what I had and like going through like special features and stuff. And I can't believe I didn't pull out Dreams at all. But as soon as you said the Van Gogh thing, I was like, oh, I can like picture it. It's so wild. What a trip. Yes, I can loan you a movie because it's on recording. It's on a live broadcast of whatever I loan you that I'll get it back next week because some of my friends out there in the universe, you guys know who you are, still have some of my Criterion collection or some of my favorite anime.
oh no.
I enjoy it. Sorry.
So
You have Criterions out there just floating
Yep.
around.
So
let me. You know what? Let me put him on blast. Let's see.
I'll put myself on blast.
No.
My man hooked me up.
Not
with-
even. I didn't give you a Criterion.
No,
You got
but-
Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, well, you said anime, so I was like,
But he was asking. He said, "Do I have Criterions out in the universe?" And one in particular that I have out in the universe. If you're watching this, Mr. Byron G still has my copy of Elevator to the Gallows because anybody that's listened to our album Giant Steps in Gate City will notice that I make a reference to that song where I say elevator to the gallows like a Miles in France.
If anyone wants to see one of the best debuts in film history, check out 1958 Elevator to the Gallows by
Like-
Louis Buñuel,
Yeah.
featuring a Miles Davis score and Jean Moreau. I'm not good at French.
I know.
Just walking along the boulevard to Miles Davis playing the trumpet, and they're not using studio lights. They're just using the fast film that was coming out and the lights coming from the storefront, and just one of the most beautiful. I'm just going off. I know.
I feel you. Me too. I went off track. Give me my fucking movies back if you have them.
He needs that back.
Yeah, you better watch it and then give it back to me.
I love you, Byron.
We miss you. And be on our podcast.
And don't worry, we'll forgive you for messing up French names. I mess up English.
he messes up notes in front of him. It's okay if you mess up international names.
Montreal, and I was trying to speak French, and they were just like, speak English.
Yo, this intro, I was crushing it, and this is our first week. We changed it. I fucked it up fine.
I warned you ahead of time today.
Yeah,
I said, yo, just so you know, I'm giving you a lot more stuff.
The only way I'm gonna get better is by keep doing it.
Exactly.
And keep trying to be better. So
Amen.
You know what? I appreciate you helping me be better.
Amen. Likewise, dude. Likewise. I obviously couldn't ask you the same question that I asked them, but what I could ask you is there, and if there is, what is the next Kurosawa film that you are most excited or anticipating to watch?
I'm a big believer in the 90-minute movie. So what was it? What's it called? Rashomon. So probably Rashomon. But I am also in the mood for like a big long epic, and so I don't know. I feel like Rashomon will probably be that's the one out of the four that you have that I would like to check out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Ron. That's another one if you're looking for a big epic.
Which one?
Ron or Kajimusha?
Kajimusha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Scorsese and Coppola helped with the. Because
some of my favorite guineas ever. I love those guys.
Kurosawa's
boy Marty.
I can say that. I'm Italian.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm fucking Italian, dude. I can say that.
We have a running joke from the Taxi Driver episode where he just kept referring to Martin Scorsese as Marty. So eventually we were like, "Oh, your friend Marty. Tell us more about him."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I can say that. It's it's full. It's cool. I can say it.
It's your boy.
That's my guy. Yeah, dude. But no, yeah, Rashomon is probably gonna be my next Kurosawa watch.
I love that, dude. That is fantastic. Yes, sir.
He said that he was looking forward to like a long epic one.
Yeah.
Now, as you two that have seen obviously way more than either one of us, if there was a long epic one that you would recommend for him, what would it be?
Seven Samurai first.
Yeah.
Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
Seven Samurai is a movie that, like, even if you don't give a fuck about movies, if you are the most casual movie watcher of all time that just like watches popcorn movies and Netflix and whatever, like no matter what your taste is, everybody should see Seven Samurai at least once in their life.
The arrow scene, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Few movies have gone on to influence cinema the way that has, and so that should just be like everybody's homework is like in life at one point I need to check off seeing Seven Samurai. It's like film school 101 type shit, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Man, the time has friggin' flown in this conversation. There's so much more that I like want to talk to you guys about. It looks like you got something that you want to throw in here. Oh, you're waving to somebody? Oh, hold on. Mike, you got somebody at the door? Don't worry, there's just people showing up during our live podcast recording. It's all good. This is what happens when you do a show live like this at a fucking place.
That's right.
But man, this has been a blast. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Two more questions, all right, and then we're gonna get to our final segments. But my first one that I want to ask you guys is, what do you feel like is the most slept on Kurosawa film? You look like you have an answer.
I'm just gonna go through his filmography.
Okay, hell yeah.
I'm gonna
Robert's
have
got
to
the
say
cheat
I'm
sheet out.
probably gonna have a hard time answering that due to the fact that I've only seen 3 of them.
I'd say anything before 48 or well, I mean he did a lot of post-war films that are available in that Eclipse set. Which
Yeah,
did you know that's out of print now?
yeah,
Yeah. So is the first films of his.
yep. And the
So
AK-100.
if you go onto Criterion and get a subscription, a channel subscription, you could check out his early ones. And Slept On. Actually, you know what? Bad Sleep Well.
I love that. You know, and it's a great segue that you said something about the Criterion. Obviously, we talk about that a lot here. But for you guys that are subscribed to the Patreon, or for you guys that are on the Hellhound Film Club YouTube channel, the new channel that we dropped, we're going to have 2 new videos coming out outside of the regular format. And they're going to be based around the upcoming Criterion flash sale. And so...
Wait, did they announce the date yet?
No, they haven't announced it yet. But in my sleuthing and my investigatorial research, I have a feeling that it's going to get announced. It's going to get either announced this week or weekend, and it's going to be next week or the last week of March. That's my prediction. And so because of that, we're going to be doing 2 new videos on the channel, as I was saying. Danny does not have an extensive Criterion collection yet, and so he is diving into the world of collecting Criterion. So we're working on a video where he is going to pick his top 5 most anticipated flash sale purchases. I will be doing a video on the other side of that, where I have been fortunate to have been collecting Criterion for a number of years now. So I'm going to show off 5 from my collection that I think would be worth adding to your collection if you're a first-time collector. So stay tuned for those videos. That's going to be really exciting. All right. And so before we go to the final, we have a couple closing segments if you haven't been through the whole ringer of the show. But before we depart from the Akira Kurosawa part of our program, does anybody have any final thoughts about the conversation, about tonight's film, about upcoming films, about techniques we talked about feelings that you had from any of this stuff, anything that you want to leave the people with in terms of what we went through tonight?
You want to start us? You want to go?
No, you go first.
I think it's always really great. I think watching movies that aren't foreign movies, because I think a lot of our ideas and how we feel about things and how we look at things come from a very Western point of view. So it's always great watching movies over from that area in Asia, and so it makes me excited to watch more Kurosawa movies. And really overall, it just makes me very grateful to be here every week and see movie, because this is the second or third movie that I've never seen before that I'm yeah, so it's been almost like a new movie every week. So yeah, I mean, this is probably, I really enjoy this this opportunity, and also just the the movie is incredible. It's really great. It's so engaging, so thrilling, so beautifully made, and chef's kiss.
I love that, man. That means a lot, dude. It's exciting to share in these moments with my friends where they get to experience things for the first time.
Yeah.
It means a lot to share in these experiences where it's I get enriched by learning stuff from you guys or learning from your experience. And so I feel equally grateful to have been part of this. And it's cool that despite all of the experience you have, that you're still learning new stuff from this too. That makes me feel really excited and proud about what we started doing here.
Yeah. Something that we've repeatedly touched on today was Kurosawa's genius use of his camera, his actors. I love that you mentioned motivational camera moves.
Yeah.
There's a prevalence of um, a lot of not, I think more directors should trust what a wide angle can do if you put the actors in the right places, if you move them to the foreground or the background, instead of using deep focus, and not using so much cutting. Yes, it does. I mean, it does. We always shoot a wide first, or standardly we shoot a wide first, and then we go in. Because it's easier if something gets screwed up, then you have something to cut to. But I think it's kind of the art of blocking just kind of has gotten lost in that. And I think studying the old masters, just turning the sound off and going frame by frame, trying to figure out how they took the script and they said, okay, this is the way I'm going to be blocking this. This part of the scene is the most important part, so I'm going to put this here. But I want to make sure the audience remembers this person in the background. And so I would like to just say that any Kurosawa film, especially High and Low, would be a good film to study. I also do 1939's genre noir's Rules of the Game. Any Spielberg film, because
I've
his
heard of
wonders
that
are
guy.
amazing. Huh?
I said I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. And I gotta say,
my boy Steve.
My boy Steve, he did that French movie Et, right?
I probably
I know it was so stupid, but you guys loved it. You got fucking look at dude. I might as well go into stand up now. Hellhound Stand Up Club coming soon to a YouTube network near you.
Thursdays at the spot.
Thursdays at the spot. Oh god, I don't
Filmed
know.
live by the Times Media.
Yeah, I don't know if sober people will find me funny. Honestly, I probably gotta go somewhere else for that. We'll see. We'll see if there's like a dumpster fire I can stand next to and tell jokes. Man, what an awesome night, dude. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this with us. Seriously, I cannot thank you guys enough. Danny and I obviously have a blast doing this, but it creates a different energy to have everybody's different like experiences coming into this thing, and it just like gives us a lot of like conversation fodder and stuff like that. And so it's really cool. Make sure you guys drop us comments and tell us how much you love them and convince them to drink the Kool-Aid. They're going to become our third and fourth mic on this show, and we're going to drag them around whenever we do podcasts. So you guys got to let them know that they're stuck as part of our show now.
Yeah.
Let's do plugs one more time for them before we jump into these final segments. I want to send a huge thank you to my dear brother Robert of Lunda Street Films. He has a brand new short film out right now called August After Hours, a city film, which you can watch right now on YouTube on the Lunda Street Films YouTube channel.
And as always, want to give a big thank you and shout out to my boy Tyler LaPlant, who's always here and always giving us great knowledge. And as for me as a personal individual, I want to thank him for the knowledge that he's passed on to me in the photography and video world to help me make better. But the big thing is Joey's big reveal coming later this year.
That's right.
I am so excited for this.
All social media platforms, Joey's big reveal.
So excited for this. I am very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
I have seen a small little rough, and
hopefully we do it.
The dialogue in it was great.
We've been talking about it, so
I know
that'll be a fun episode to do.
But which one? Do we do it on Central or do we do it on Film Club? Or
Let's do it
both?
on both. But I mean, we got to do it here so we can play it on the projector.
But I do want to say something really, really quick. Quick final thoughts from me for like the layman world. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. This is a movie that you're not going to run out. You're not going to go grab. But step out of your comfort zone. I get it. It's black and white. It's foreign. It's subtitled. Some people are not going to be about it. But step out because you're going to miss an experience that you can't get anywhere else. So step out of your comfort zone and you will thank me later.
It's funny. Am I like that much of a douche that I'm like, oh, those are all the things I'm looking for in a movie? Right. I'm like, you said it's black and white. It's foreign. Like, count me in, dog.
I understand. And I'm the same way. Count me in.
But
But there's too many people that won't step out of that comfort zone.
Exactly.
And this is me asking them to step out of their comfort zone for
one
movie. One movie.
Yeah.
This one right here. Step out of your comfort zone.
You know what? I think I appreciate that. That is really a great sentiment. I appreciate that. Even the crowd here, if you can hear them, they're roaring right now. They're just absolutely going crazy. Yeah, we're actually starting another feature right now. Another Toho Kurosawa Limited.
That soundbite will get us canceled. So we enjoy our last episode.
It's been a blast. Well, it's been a blast, gang. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's get through these final segments.
Yes.
Somehow
wrap this up.
Yeah. As you guys know, like we do every week here, I always encourage you guys to get involved in Letterboxd. Letterboxd is a movie-based social media platform where all you do is review movies, log the movies you watch, and you can see other people's lists of movies, whether it's influences for a film they're making, influences for films they're watching, whatever the case is. You can get low-life podcasting dirtballs like me on there, and you can get people like Martin Scorsese and tons of other people who put their watch lists on there. They put their reviews on there. So it's a really cool platform to get involved with. Every movie that I watch, not just the films that we do here, but the films that I watch in my free time, I like to log on Letterboxd and do a review for as well. Helps me just keep track of everything I'm watching. And if I go back and am watching something again, I can see how I felt about it the first time. So that's where we're at. The most recent movie that I watched and did a review for is a movie from 1998 called Croupier, which was directed by Mike Hodges. Jack Manfred, who's played by Clive Owen, is an aspiring writer who, to make ends meet, he takes a job as a croupier, which is basically like a dealer at a casino. Jack remains an observer, knowing that everything in life is a gamble and that gamblers are born to lose. Inevitably, he gets sucked into the world of the casino, and that ends up taking a toll on his relationships and the novel that he is essentially trying to write when he's not at this job. So my thoughts on this were that this 90s gambling flick starring Clive Owen was a really interesting approach to a noir-style story, set in more updated settings and with a very unique background or backdrop using the casino setting. It did feel like it jumped around really fast at times. And so there was like a couple moments where I was kind of confused at like how quick things were moving. But I also think that kind of contributed to the fast nature storytelling of noir films in general, where it's about getting a lot of exposition done in a really quick amount of time. It would have been really fun to see this when it first came out, but I was like 9 years old, so that didn't happen. It often feels like in this movie in particular, the story itself isn't quite as important as what the characters are doing in each setting before it all kind of comes together. It's a really cool storytelling device. And so I watched this one solely because it came up on like a YouTube video of like 90s thrillers that you never saw, blah, 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 some shit like that. And so I checked it out and I actually thought it was really cool. And so that was Croupier from 1998. I found it on a streaming platform. I'm sure you can find it anywhere pretty easily.
So the YouTube video is right?
Huh?
So the YouTube video is right? 90s thriller you never seen?
Literally, it was a 90s thriller that I had never seen. I can't even be mad about it. So I have a full review for that on Letterboxd. I'll have a review for High and Low tonight, and you can see dozens and dozens of other reviews that I've done. Check out what I've got going on over there and get involved yourself. Letterboxd, follow me. Here's a little bit about it before we wrap things up. That's okay. Well, you know what? We will.
Damn, now we have to.
We will go back.
Holy
to that
cow!
then.
Now we have to.
Gosh, and you saved it for the end this time, which was
wow. It's almost like he's been on this before.
I know. It's almost like he's been watching the show now.
In case you didn't know, this is Tyler's first time.
So as we do at the end of every show, we always like to share with you some screenings, some event listings, some video pop-up shops, things of that nature. We source these events through the things that we find, and people will send us events. If you want to get involved and send us an event anywhere in the world that's a cinema-based event, shoot us an email at hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com, and we would be thrilled to share your event.
Absolutely.
What do you say? You want to do some bars with me? You want to go back and forth with me a little bit on these?
Back and forth?
Yeah.
You do one line,
Spit
I do
some
the next
fours.
line. Let's go.
All right. So this one is happening on the day that this episode comes out, so you might not be able to see it. But for everybody here, if you want to make plans, or if you catch this and there's a screening late enough in your area, on Tuesday, March 17th, Leprechaun from 1993 returns to theaters for one day only on St. Patrick's Day. Check your local theater for listings. If you're local to us in Southern New Hampshire, there is in fact a screening at Cinemark in Salem, New Hampshire.
On March 18th to the 22nd, Boston Underground Film Festival at Brattle Theater and Coolidge Corner. Founded in 1998, the Boston Underground Film Festival is an annual event held in the Boston area that specializes in alternative films and videos. Buff is the largest underground film festival in New England, spotlighting short films and feature-length films that would not otherwise find an audience. For tickets and information, visit www.bostonunderground.org.
Thursday, March 19th, Who Killed Teddy Bear? A new 35mm print of the never-before-seen director's cut, presented by Cinematograph Films at the Jacob Burns Film Center in Pleasantville, New York. Newly restored and presented on 35mm, complete with previously censored scenes, Who Killed Teddy Bear is a campy, sleazy, and underrated neo-noir cult favorite about a 1960s New York City police detective investigating a stalker who has been harassing people in New York's disco scene. The result is a provocative cult classic that needs to be seen to be believed.
That'd be incredible to see on 35.
I know, for real.
Incredible.
It's worth the trip, honestly. I looked it up. It's like maybe a 4 or 5 hour trip, I think.
Like there and back or one way?
One way.
Any film print is worth the trip these days.
Exactly.
Well, I only
if you-
say that
Especially
because
if you road trip with the homies.
the only reason I say that because March 22nd or March 20th, the following day, Done Booking has a show booked, and we have a very busy day that day.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but also on March 20th, speaking of, we got the Tiny Film Festival at the Nashua Public Library in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Yeah, right here.
Right here.
Right here where we live.
Right here where we live. Watch 60-second films made by the community, followed by an award ceremony. While the library is normally closed on Fridays, we're opening the doors at 5:30 p.m. so you can walk the red carpet, take photos, and grab your free popcorn and drinks for the screenings.
On Sunday, March 22nd, Vinegar Syndrome is going to be hosting a pop-up event in Atlanta at Videodrome in Atlanta, Georgia. From 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday, March 22nd, Justin Laliberty from Cinematograph Films will be at Videodrome in Atlanta, Georgia, slinging out-of-print discs, merch, and more from Cinematograph, Vinegar Syndrome, and OCN Distro. That's going to be going down at 617 North Island Avenue in Northeast Atlanta, Georgia.
Also on Sunday, March 22nd, at Close Range 4K Restoration, presented by Cinegraph and Videodrome at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. This is part of Videodrome's continuing series of staff-depicted classics and cult films, with this installment featuring special guest Justin Laliberty from Cinegraphic Films. We need to go to Atlanta.
I know.
So we do the show on Friday, get on a plane on Saturday.
I still got more to read, Papa. Thought he got out of it.
No, I was just too excited.
Thought he was gonna butcher 3 sentences and be done with it.
Yeah, of course. In At Close Range, Bradford, Big Brad Whitewood Sr., played by Christopher Walken, is the leader of a Royal Pennsylvania gang of career criminals, and his son, Bradford Little Brad Whitewood Jr., played by Sean Penn, is an unemployed teenager who decides he wants the taste of his father's flashy lifestyle and the power that comes with it. Embarking on a budding life of crime with his brother Tommy, played by Sean Penn's real-life brother Chris Penn, Little Brad gets arrested, sparking a tense showdown between his father and son and their family and friends who get caught in the middle. Didn't butcher that as bad.
Tuesday, March 24th, One Battle After Another, presented by the Nashua Public Library at the NPL Theater in Nashua, New Hampshire, featuring an all-star cast including Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and more. One Battle After Another from filmmaker Paul Thomas Anderson is about when their enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own.
Friday, March 26th to Sunday, March 29th, Salem Film Festival in Salem, Massachusetts, presented by Peabody Exit Museum.
I'm sorry, let's try that one again.
What?
Peabody.
Peabody?
Peabody.
Peabody?
Peabody.
Peabody?
Yeah. There we go.
Peabody Essex Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Peabody.
Peabody.
Oh, maybe you just said it fast. Sounded like you were like Pibbity Dibbity.
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's Liberty Bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity.
Yeah, I'm that guy. That's me.
It's Worcester, not Worcester.
Y'all don't get me started on that, all right? Don't even. Because it's Haverhill.
Oh, God. Cut my life into pieces. So about the Salem Film Festival.
Yeah.
The Salem Film Festival was founded in 2007 by filmmakers and film enthusiasts united by a passion for storytelling and community building. Guided by their motto, "Come to Salem, see the world," the festival brings timely and thought-provoking documentaries and their creators from across the globe to Boston's North Shore. The carefully curated program, paired with the festival's intimate local atmosphere, sparks conversation that inspires, educates, and entertains, fostering a deep understanding of how nonfiction films can shift perspective and catalytic change. For tickets, information, and schedule, and more, visit www.salemfilmfest.com.
And as we've been mentioning all year on the show, the New Hampshire Film Festival is going to be going down October 15th through the 18th in downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Submissions are still open now, I believe. And for more details on that, you can visit www.nhfilmfestival.com. In addition to that, we always like to shout out some of our favorite theaters from around the way. So big love to the Coolidge Corner Cinema in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Brattle Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Wilton Town Hall Theater in Wilton, New Hampshire, the Milford Drive-In Theater in Milford, New Hampshire, the Mendon Twin Drive-In in Mendon, Massachusetts, and the Somerville Theater in Somerville, Massachusetts. There's a lot more theaters that we want to shout out as well, but those are some immediate ones that have some of the best programming out there right now. And so if you're going to get back to a theater, those are some great ones to support. And as always, everything that you could possibly want to share with us, whether it's your film event, a screening in your area, if it's a film or cinema event that's important to you, please shoot us an email at hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com so that we can learn more about all the cool film stuff going on all around the world around us, other than the stuff that we just find in our own little research.
And as always, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe to our main YouTube channel, Hellhound Publishing, and subscribe to our newest channel, Hellhound Film Club, dedicated to this show, as well as bonus clips, exclusive episodes, interviews, and more.
Be part of our Patreon community for just $1 a month for exclusive and early access to Hellhound Film Club, as well as all of the other podcasts, music, and book releases from Hellhound Publishing. Since 2018, you can join today and help support us and get all of the exclusive access for literally just one single dollar per month. Your support will help us improve this podcast and take things so much further. Maybe if enough people subscribe to Patreon, we could get an audio mixer that has 4 microphones and we won't have to pass the microphones around. So for $1 a month, you get access to everything that we put out through our record label early and ahead of time. That's music releases 30 plus days ahead of time. Podcasts you'll get early. Some podcasts you'll get ad free. You'll get some episodes of shows that will never be on YouTube. You can go, we have years and years of stuff on there that you can go back and check out. There's podcasts that have never seen the light of day on there. There's all sorts of stuff that you can find, and we're going to keep adding more and more content on there, and we're developing more and more exclusive stuff just for the Patreon supporters. We're doing episodes of Hellhound Film Club that fall outside of the scope of our regular season. All sorts of really cool stuff. So we could really use your support over there. That's patreon.com/Hellhound Publishing.
And don't forget, you can join us right here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at The Spot in downtown Nashua for our free movie screening and podcast recording right here at 217 Main Street, Nashua, New Hampshire. Come down, watch a flick, grab a drink, eat well with all good friends and good vibes and good times.
And don't forget the popcorn. Good night, world.